All right, I'm going through the fountain in the pond this afternoon. It's 5 minutes to 5 on Saturday. I've got dinner plans at 6, so hopefully I can get it done quick. And hopefully the GoPro actually stays recording for a while. It's a little windy today. I'll probably put the fountain in, but I won't install it today. Pull up over here to the pond. Water temperature's getting warm. It's starting to get a little bit of algae growth out there. It's pretty blue. I put some color in it, some more and more over the winter to keep it blue, so I don't have to worry about as much sunlight. In the spring, my trusty golf cart. I always keep some fencing pliers, some side cutters, channel locks, my bug spray, some gloves, a hammer, a chainsaw tool, and some sunscreen and a hose nozzle. Always keep that stuff in here. And there's some wasp spray in there also. So this is my fountain here. I bought the float device from Fawn Lake Fountains, and then the rest of it I built. So this is a PVC threaded cap. I just drilled out. I marked it out real nice and drilled it. This will be the 4th year I've had this done. Then I have this little giant pump that I built an offset elbow on here to center the weight, because the weight balance is actually over this handle here. So that comes up. O-ring here, a union. That's basically just this floats in here like this. And you have to excuse my mess of 8 million feet of wire. I put the cord, I had to extend the cord to get the fountain out far enough, but when I extended, I added like a 25-foot cord or 50-foot cord or something stupid like that, because that's what it was, and I need to cut off like 20 feet. But it's what it is. I only do this once a year, so it doesn't bother me too bad. Thread this on here. Maybe. It's kind of gross. I usually power wash in the fall, but I got lazy last year. Work's been busy. Business is always busy, so I don't have the time like I used to have to do the trinket stuff around the yard. This is a safety chain here. The hooks through the stainless steel eye bolt. Always want to keep the threads down. So if it were to rattle loose, it rattles tight instead of rattle loose, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna check to make sure the GoPro's still running. Thing's been a pain in the ass lately. They're shut down all the time and segments videos. It's just annoying. I don't think these are big enough for this guy, but without going to get my pliers for my oil wrench pliers, I think we're good. So this kind of just, it's got this hooby-doo here that locks inside there, so you can separate it if you want to, but like I said, I should have cleaned it last spring or last fall when I took it out, but it's just gonna get dirty again. A lot of times when I take it out, it's full of gross wormies and stuff from the water. So this is pretty high-tech process here. Fish are probably gonna want it fed. Holy shit, there's some good algae growing in there. Been a weird spring. All right, so we're gonna drop that thing in there, and since the cord's so long, I will tie off the cord. Uh-oh. This will screw up the guy's video quick. It's not that bad. Not as bad as I'm making it. Get some twisties out of here. I have to walk it across. I guess if I build a potato can or something with some string on it, I could do that, but that's just a lot of extra dinking around. What the? It was actually put away pretty decent, but I got a little Rammy taking it out because I gotta get in the shower, get ready to go. So I already put the ladder in this spring. This ladder just pivots up and hooks on these wood shears. I got blocky underneath to hold those in, so they ain't going nowhere. Just tie that off to keep the cord from going in the water. Super simple. Looks like we are still recording. Holy crap. It'll last about 5 more minutes. All right, so grab the other end of the rope. Just walk it across. Problem is the bank's kind of shallow. Pretty shallow. Oh, look at the fishes in there. There's tadpoles. Cool. There are fish in here. I feed them. They're getting big. Some bass in here too. You can see all the fish in there. It's kind of gross. Winter water. All the crap that sat in there over the winter, and the trash and leaves and everything else. You kind of all start seeing that stuff. So I'm extended out right now on the power cord, as you can see. Yeah, algae's kind of a pain in the ass. I get usually pretty good bloom in April and May, but I've been treating it for the last 2 months also with some good bacteria. Now here's the struggle: is I got to find my hook. I was going to paint it last year. I found it right off the bat. Look at that. So I got a concrete stake in the ground here. And loop it through that hoobie-doo there. Nothing too fancy. Make sure it's looped through. Then I just do a secondary knot on the cable on the wire. Just throw it back up. It's not like it's going anywhere. It's gonna be plugged in, so I haven't had an issue with it yet. It wasn't here during the Dray Show in 2020, but it was. I think I put it in the fall of 2020 because that's when I put the liner in. I think in June and July. And then when the Dray Show was August, so I had the liner in. I think I had the liner in for like a week or 10 days, and I went on vacation. During the Dray Show, I was in Cancun. Fortunately, I had the forethought of putting some water in the liner, because if I didn't, the liner, the $11,000 liner, would have been gone, completely gone. When I got back, all the sides were folded in. There was logs and stuff in there in the water. Tied a garden hose around my waist, and a buddy held the garden hose because you can't walk on this liner. It's really slippery when it's wet, so I got all the crap out of it and got the liner tucked back in, and we put 90 ton of rock around the perimeter. I think it was 5 tandem loads at like 17 to 18 ton a piece, something like that. And so that's kind of my fall project. All right, so fountain's in. That in. I just kind of pull it straight across where I want it. Make sure the GoPro's still running. 925. I don't see my rope at the other end. I try to keep some decent slack in it so it's kind of centered itself. I don't want it tight, because if I put a pedal boat or something in there, it does its own thing. My access hatch, my 2 Alita AL120 air pumps. One runs that one, and the other one runs those 2. I got 2 teed off over there for aeration, which helps with the algae and fish quality of life. Keeps the water balanced good. Also in the winter, it keeps an air pocket open. For sunlight to get through. If you let your pond ice over, the fish could literally drown or suffocate. I guess they won't drown, but they'll suffocate. Don't get the oxygen. I think we're just gonna leave it there for now. I got a metal tie. There's probably gonna be a snake or something in here that's gonna scare the shit out of me. But I wrap up this tie here. We're not super fancy by any means, but it does the job. Well, so I just have to plug in this device here is a Wi-Fi. This is like a $23 deal. This plugs in Wi-Fi. I got the light plugged into there, and then the cord. Excuse my mess with the cord because it's gonna get shoved in here again. I just plug this into this device here. And it's probably gonna fire, but maybe not. I go to my app. If I could find it. I haven't used it since last fall. Jeez. Oh, I know where it's at with all my other apps. VSync. And I have these two buttons. I don't know if you can see it or not. Dock light, fountain. So I can just tap that. And that's the fountain. Well, the spray doesn't look very good. Maybe I should have cleaned it out. It'll only take me 5 minutes to pull off the side later on. And so I can set this up on a schedule, and then the dock light I can turn it off on and off here too. You can see that. Basically I just go into I click on the device itself, and I go into schedule, and I already have it set up for 5:45 to 8 p.m. every night. And so that's, once I leave it on, it'll automatically shut itself off. But I'm gonna leave it off for now because it's kind of breezy today. It's just a waste of energy. But the aeration, or not the aeration, but the fountain also helps the fish too, circulating water. So I'd say it's pretty healthy water. You know, if you have algae, it's usually mostly healthy as long as it's good algae. I also scoop some of the stuff out in spring too. I have a net up underneath the deck underneath there I use, but we'll see how the spring goes. I don't want to get too much into it at this point in time. See how things go. Anyways, thanks for watching. Little things I do around the yard. Later.